Hello, bonjour. It is. No, I'm not going to do that accent because that's just going to get me kicked out of the country. It is time for a tournament and a tea break. This is Britwatch Sports. You're listening to Ros Satar, and I'm joined by
Chris Oddo.
Oh, we are reunited, and it feels so good.
It does feel good. Bonsoir to
Oh,
you.
bonsoir, monsieur. Okay, so it's this first half day that Roland Garros does on a Sunday. And we say half day. I mean, it's coming up for 9 o'clock, and I feel like I've been put through a ringer.
Felt like a full day to me.
It certainly did. So, without further ado, let's jump into what happened today. First up, Angelique Kerber and Anastasia Potapova opened up proceedings on this brand new Chatrier court that we're sitting in. That I have to say, until you come up to the press seats and look around at eye level at the new seating that they put in, you don't realise just how big it was, because where we're sitting now is roughly where it finished at this kind of level. So we've got a whole new tier, not quite the nosebleeds of the States, but you know, it really makes this court feel a lot bigger.
I unfortunately can't speak from experience because this is my first time and I'm still buzzing from excitement from being in this beautiful court and some of the other courts around the grounds. But yeah, I've heard it's a lot different according to people I've been sitting with in here, that it's rounded around the corners, up on the outer circle there, and it has a little bit of a different look and feel, but it sure looks beautiful. And I don't mind the change to the seat colors. I thought I originally had minded, but now I approve. I approve.
Yeah, I think it makes it look a lot cleaner. I'm not sure that Angelique Kerber actually had the same feeling though. I feel for Kerber. It's been an absolute disaster of a clay court season for her. She was laid low with the virus a few days before Stuttgart. Could barely practice at Stuttgart. She's won Stuttgart twice. Really couldn't make much of a showing out there. And from the get-go, Potapova just ruled the roost and took down her idol, which makes it kind of even worse, I think.
Perhaps, yeah. You know, it's a tough one for Angelique. I think a lot of people, right, you and I included, probably expected that she may get upset today or that she wasn't really destined for a long run, but really good energy and excitement from Potapova. She's vastly improving rapidly, and she's a player to watch, and she had her moment in the sun today. It was a shining moment, first top 10 win. So if you look at the flip side of it, there's sadness from Angelique, but a lot of joy from Potapova.
And to be fair to Angelique, I mean, you know, she was pretty gracious and press about her, sort of saying, you know, she played really, really well. I think it will be a blessing in disguise for her. She's got the Wimbledon title to defend. She's going to be a lot better on grass. The clay one, I think, is going to elude her from a career slam. I just can't see her, because her game depends on movement. It depends on her being able to sort of get to everything, and I just don't think she has that confidence on the clay to do it.
No, and certainly not in a year like this year where it's, she's not feeling 100% physically, so there was no chance this year. Maybe at another time, if she really dedicates herself to it, gets perfectly fit, yeah, she could make a run, and who knows what happens then. But yeah, it's about Wimbledon right now. It's about defending that title. Interesting stat. I looked it up today for some reason. Last 14 majors, Kerber has 3 Grand Slam titles and 3 first-round losses. Man, it's a lot of first-round losses for a player of her caliber. Not a crazy amount, but I thought it was interesting, so I shared it.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much. There was a potential for a second upset. You know, in fact, at one stage they were both tracking each other. They were both 2-4 down. And then sort of managed to claw things back a little bit. Garbine Muguruza put paid to Taylor Townsend, but had to come from a set down. Confessed to maybe being a little bit nervy. You know, the first round of Grand Slam is always tricky, especially if you're an elite player. But she was asked, you know, what makes a Slam champion, and she mentioned, you know, the X factor. And at the end of the day, she's got 2 of them. You know, she's not. She's. This isn't a flash in the pan. This isn't a one slam wonder. No. So I think she'll bed down a lot more now that she's got this win under her belt. But there is that kind of edginess and nervousness with some of the players that are like kind of, oh, wouldn't it be awful if I stepped out on court and lost?
Yeah. Well, Garbine really did a nice job, as you mentioned in our conversation earlier, fighting back to win that match, was in trouble, was nervous, was on our new show court, and the first match on that court, 11 a.m. start, tricky, but again, her pedigree, you know, takes her in some of these matches. I mean, 25-5 lifetime at Roland Garros. I mean, semifinals last year. This was her best moment of the season last year in the Slam. So she's great here. She had that confidence today to pull it out, and so now you look forward to her maybe catching a little groove, catching a wave, and starting to win more decisively. It could happen.
Oh, definitely. One thing I've done a couple of things on radio today where I've been asked twice, "Oh, is Federer going to win?" And I was just like, "No, absolutely not. He's just not going to win this." And then I watched a bit of his match where I honestly thought that the feed was glitching because the ball was flying back to Sonego so fast. I thought, like, that's got to have skipped. There's no way that return came over. So, and then it happened like a few more times. So either I've got an incredibly glitchy screen, or there was some pop on Federer's strokes today.
Roger Federer looks like he's so excited to be here. I mean, it's been since 2015. I think he also made the right decision to be really careful with at Rome after the doubleheader day. He took off from that tournament and is probably feeling rested, and just, gosh, he looked great today. Just in full flight. And is Federer going to win this tournament? No. But he, I think if he hangs around long enough, gets to the quarters and sees that something else is broken, there's some kind of like catastrophic thing that happens elsewhere, he might say, you know what, I got another gear, so I'm going to press on further in this tournament. So anyway, it's still great to see him play the way he did today.
Yeah, no, it was impressive. A couple of notables on the women's side before we get to your favourite of the day was Pliskova again also had to sort of overcome a little bit of a slow start. Brengel sort of caught an early march, and then Karolina Pliskova woke up and I think put paid to that fairly quickly. And Alina Svitolina broke Venus quite early, didn't really allow her a chance to get in, and it's good to see Svitolina when she's had a horrible time with injuries as well, and this is a surface that she does very well on. This is a slam that I think, much like with Halep, if she's going to get a slam, it'll be here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I think it was good to see her come through. I think there was a measure of relief in her presser. I think that she came through, A, without any injury, B, quite efficiently.
Yep, you're right. This is a place where she can do some damage, and I mean, two-time quarter finalist here. I mean, it makes complete sense. Question for me is she healthy enough right now? It's been a tough road. She finally got her first win since Indian Wells, and she's been playing. She hasn't really skipped many events, right? I know she had 4 straight losses, and a lot of that was due to fitness. But today she won convincingly, took Venus out, and it's good to see her get a win. And if she's healthy enough, she can go deep.
Yeah, I think, and I think there's also don't underestimate the ability of playing yourself into form as well.
Yeah,
I think she can do that. She seems there's something about her this year that maybe this Gem's life has settled her down a bit. I don't know, but there's something about her that she doesn't let things bother her anymore. She seems to be much more relaxed on the court. If things don't go away, she can figure things out a lot quicker.
Yeah,
there's something that's clicked.
I love her mentally. Her mental approach to the game, on and off the court. Her preparation is, I think, fantastic, and I think that's what enables her to have so many chances to do well. And look at what she's done when she has chances in her finals. I mean, 13 titles. I don't know. She's hardly lost a final in her career, so she can do some great things.
Okay. Now tell me what impressed you about Tsitsipas today.
Stefanos Tsitsipas comes to Roland Garros.
Steve the Hawk.
I mean, Steve the Hawk. I mean, he just looks so good in his match today. Like, so aggressive. And, I mean, this is a guy who's only had 1 win here at Roland Garros. It's not like he should be that comfortable, but he just stepped on Chatrier and looked like he'd done it a million times before. First serve was just flying. He won 42 out of 46 first serve points. He was great at the net. He was aggressive. He took balls early. I just think he was just so professional and so just ready to take this challenge on. I expect him definitely to be in the quarterfinals and maybe deeper, based on what I saw.
I mean, this is the thing that obviously he comes in for a lot of stick for his Socratarian tweets. I'm not even sure if Socratarian is a word, but it is. It works. But his Plato-esque and Socratarian outlook on life. He gets a lot of criticism, but you're right. There is an air of professionalism about him that when he steps on the court, you just think, big things are going to happen for you. Maybe not this fortnight, but they're coming.
Oh yeah, he's there to win.
Yeah.
I was so impressed. Fantastic performance. I'm going to keep a close eye on him, through these next few rounds. But his backhand looks great. He moves so well. He's a big, powerful, aggressive player. I mean, he has it all. He reminds me of Federer.
I thought you were going to say he reminds me of me, and I'm like, what?
No.
What?
In a sense, you could say. But do you see any Federer similarities with Tsitsipas?
I've got to be honest, actually. When people sort of say that, I always think, oh, you're just basing it on the one-handed backhand. What I think, for me, is that because he looks quite slight, I mean, he's not quite Zverev, skinny white asparagus that would fall over in a breeze, but he's quite a slight figure. He doesn't look as powerful as he actually is, if you get what I mean. You look at him and you think there's no way you're going to whip up enough spin or whatever on your backhand or forehand to cause any damage. But boy, he does. He really does. So, he's going to be one to watch. And talking about ones to watch, if we're knackered now and it's like a half day, what are we going to be like tomorrow? I mean, to give you an idea of how tired I was, when you went off to say, oh, is Halep playing? I actually got halfway down there and thought, what are you doing? They wouldn't put Halep on court 9. What? Why are you reading past the second page? What's the matter with you, Ros?
Oh, yeah.
So, give me your thoughts on tomorrow's order of play.
Tomorrow is for the three main men, and we talked about Federer and Tsitsipas, and those guys are, looking for deep runs. But Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, Dominic Thiem are all going to take the court tomorrow. Yeah. We're going to be so curious to find out, and now to start to break down their form in each match, say which one's playing better after one round. What are we looking forward to in the second round? It's going to be exciting, though. I mean, I'm really so geared up to see, especially Rafa and Nole, but also Dominic Thiem. This is like I'm going to be glued to these matches.
I'm going to be glued to whether or not you're going to do this Velociraptor impersonation next time round with the kind of little paws and ready to get them. On the women's side.
Is this a video cast? Or?
No, but we are going to do video at some stage. If you've got one of these, then we can video the next one for just to horrify our listeners. The one match that I want to watch is Serena Williams versus Diachenko. I want to see how Serena shapes up.
I thought you were going to say I want to see a cat suit.
No, no. But have you seen her outfit? It's all like cool. Super warrior princess like.
She's the best with that stuff. Her looks.
I really hope she does actually do a full first round so that we get to see that outfit because it looks amazing. I don't know whether it's just because it's black and white. It just looks amazing.
What are you excited to see about Serena Williams?
Well, it's not that I'm excited. It's I'm concerned after all of her pullouts and stuff. I want to see how this knee is performing because she's actually won matches and then the last two matches she's actually won her opening rounds and then pulled out, and she hasn't looked like she's struggled.
Yeah, so it's so hard to figure out.
So that's what I want to watch. Is I might even come and brave the cold. In fact, I might actually bring my my white man's magic on down jacket just for the privilege of sitting up here and freezing my backside off.
Good call.
But I want to see how this knee performs because I suspect what she will do is beat Diachenko. But I want to see how she moves.
It might not. The knee might not even need to perform tomorrow. It could be that easy for her. But
we'll see. The irony being, the last time they met, I think it was something like the 2015 US Open, if I'm right.
That was
and Diachenko retired. Yeah. So I don't think it's a really good measure. So I'm very keen to see it. Of course, we didn't see her impressed because she's outside of the top 8.
No, I haven't.
So it'll be interesting. Is there any other matches that leap out at you? I mean, I've got Brits galore. So.
I mean, there's fun stuff everywhere. I mean, I'll scan down this order of play and find. I love watching the French players that are so embraced by the fans here. Sangha on Long will be awesome. I'm excited to see Stan. I'd like to see him play some good tennis here. He's on Simone Mathieu tomorrow. I mean, I'm not seeing any blockbuster popcorn matchups.
No.
Scan them a little closer. I don't know. Maybe our listeners would disagree. Maybe we're missing something.
I don't think. I mean, I had a quick flick through, and I wasn't sure that there was anything. Maybe Shapovalov and Struff's form has been particularly he's been particularly tricky, so that might not be an easy one for.
Okay. I want to see Christian Garin.
Yeah,
he's been hot on the clay. Hasn't played in a while, and he's facing the skyscraper of an American Riley Opelka. I mean, that could be an interesting match.
Well, I think that Jo Konta is actually going to beat her Roland Garros duck. I think it's going to be duck à l'orange on the menu.
Nice call. Yeah, no, she's had a great clay season.
Duck à la clay.
It's been great to see her playing so well on the clay. Fully expect her to win tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't expect Kyle to win though. I think he will, but I think this could be an exhausting 4-5 setter. I'm trying to work out whether Chardy is one of those players that responds well to the French or just caves in like a souffle in a draft.
I feel like he's hard to predict, but he can. He's a heck of a player when he's on and firing with that forehand. You know,
but he hasn't been on and firing at all this season.
Yeah, maybe he'll be inspired. Yeah,
by the new.
Yeah.
Well, he's not playing on Chatrier though, so he probably won't be that inspired at all.
Where are they playing?
They're playing on court number 1.
Oh, Bullring.
So we're going to call it quits there because we're getting lots of very strange looks from the people that are clearing up the court. But tomorrow is going to be a packed day, so we'll definitely be back with our roundup of round 1.5.
I would not miss it.
Okay, cool. You have, of course, been listening to Ros Satar
and Chris Oddo.
Thank you for calling. Thank you for listening. What is the matter with me?
Au revoir, bonsoir.
Au revoir.